Hi, this is Justin Jacobson with Restoration Games. We're taking a quick look at Key to the Kingdom. Should be coming out early next year. This is a classic game, and basically it's a roll and move game. We kept the roll and move. Really simple, you're in this fantasy kingdom and there is a very evil and mostly chaotic and oftentimes silly demon king who's causing a lot of trouble. So the B team of heroes is going in to try and defeat him. In this case, I'm playing the menacing mercenary. And we each have a unique player power. And we also have our own set of items. Everybody's got the same set of items. So it's roll and move, but you have a lot of opportunities to mitigate your roll with these items. So on your turn, you're gonna just roll the dice and move that number of spaces. But again, you can modify your roll by using an item. So if I rolled a 5, I wanna go into the whirlpool, let's say, because that's the really cool part of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would actually normally stop there, 6, 7. Let's say I wanted to do that and I didn't have to stop there. I'd flip that over and I'd move 8 spaces, and here's the cool part, you ready? When you go into the whirlpool, it's a teleporter. So anyone who's not in the whirlpool gets flung away. The board opens up into a brand new world. That person gets stuck in the void, and now you're in a new world to explore. You get to take another turn and go around the kingdom. Well, why are we going around the kingdom? It's Key to the Kingdom. We're going around to get keys. So there's all these key adventures of different colors, blue, red, green, etc. And we are trying to go around and complete one of each of those key adventures so that we can get the 3 different pieces of the key. You do that by doing little dice games, and each one's different. And the way you do that is when you go to a key adventure, you get to read in the Adventure Atlas. Great art by Andrew Bosley. Some of my best dad jokes. It's dad jokes all the way down, people. And basically it's a different little mini dice game that you play at each of these locations. Again, getting to use your items. Managing your items is really, it's not a super strategic game, but how you do that is where it comes in. Once you get all 3 pieces of the key, you actually can then go back into the whirlpool, and instead of folding the board, you slide on over to the Demon King's domain over here. And he has an appropriately silly castle. And what you do is you go into his courtyard. Go into the room. First you have to fight the tentacled monster. Basically you're picking one of these things to do, and these are numbers you're trying to beat. You have to run the gauntlet in one shot, and you might get lucky on which numbers you pick, or you might get unlucky. Now, that time I got the worst one, an 11. As you're going through, you're trying to do it in one shot, so you're using up all your items. When you get to the final room, you have to do a 20 plus to defeat the Demon King, but you get to use all of your items. So whatever you have left, you make it through the gauntlet. If you don't, you get kicked back out, but then the second time around, people get information about, like if I were going into this room, I wouldn't want to choose that square, so instead I could go to a different one. There's one final fun piece, is there's spaces on the board, let you refresh your items, or let you have an event where you draw from the event deck, where we have, again, appropriately silly, great art, lots of fun things to do, where you can get magic items, or get companions, or have events, things like that. And then also, there is the demon die space. So if you land on the demon die space, you get to give the demon die to somebody else, and again, an appropriately ridiculous die. It has a 0, a 1, a 2, a 5, a 7, and an 11. So sometimes it's good, you can roll an 11, and sometimes you're just stuck rolling a 0. But again, you can mitigate it with those things. It's a family weight game, and we don't call it a beer and pretzels game, we call it a milk and cookies game. I think people are gonna get a lot of fun, and obviously the board mechanism is a ton of fun for people. And I mean, dad jokes, right? So that's pretty much it. Again, it should be coming out early next year, and we're excited for people to get it.